Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband. Now, when we left off, we had just taken Asunder Castle from the Khergits. Finally, it's been a rather long time coming, hasn't it? Anyway, we are going to be speaking to Lezelit right here. We actually have a bit of a situation on our hands. Oh yeah, I actually did level him up, but I only leveled up his proficiencies and attributes because he has a bunch of different milestones here. So for example, his strength is only one level away from getting to 12 strength, and I thought I'd save a skill point just so that we could get the next levels of Power Strike and Iron Flesh. And obviously if I didn't want to do that, then I could obviously just, spec some points into intelligence or something along those lines. That's why he has a plus next to his name. Oh yeah, and also I believe one of you may have commented either on Perisno or either on this series. I'm not entirely sure which, because sometimes when it's a general comment, regarding Warband gameplay mechanics, doesn't matter which mod or, which thing you're kind of playing, I get a little bit mixed up. So yeah, anyway, point is, how many days have I played so far? Well, you can actually work that out quite easily if you look down in the bottom right here and you work out from episode 1 how many months have passed, because obviously most months have about 30 days, so you can just work out on average how many days have passed so far. I have, let me see now, 258, I believe, isn't it? 258? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, 258. It's quite a lot of days, actually. Quite a lot of days. I am unsure why, but I suppose it's just because I've been kind of faffing around a little bit, just kind of moseying around and attacking all kinds of vassals and taking things, and obviously these guys are being a bit annoying when it comes to... Oh, no. Are you seriously going to escape? No, you're not going to escape. Thank you very much. Yes, this guy was attempting to besiege Asunder Castle, and I wasn't going to have any of it. No, I wasn't going to have any of that at all, thank you very much. Now, if I had already created my own faction, I think that 258 days would have been pretty decent. That would have been a pretty quick creation. But I think as it stands, usually a Warband playthrough, or should I say a Warband, I don't know, completionist sort of save file is probably going to take about 600 to 800 days. Really depends on how effective you are and how, what kind of units you use. Because obviously I'm using Sarranid units. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. And maybe that's the reason why it's taking a little bit longer. If I was using Nords, this probably would have been, I would have probably created my own faction already, because Nords are really good at sieges. They are very, very good at sieges, because their infantry is just insane, really, really insane, and that's probably the reason why the Nords are pretty good at it. They're pretty good, and obviously the Rhodoks would be pretty good too, because they do have their crossbowmen, but you would need to wait quite a while for the crossbowmen to make any kind of difference to the to the defenders' garrisons, because obviously it takes quite a while for a crossbow to shoot, and there's also that to take into account. But yeah, I think the days, I think they're pretty reasonable. I think I could have probably made a little bit more progression if I had focused on creating our own faction a little bit more, and if I hadn't compromised. So for example, if I had said that I was going to use any units in the entire game, then I would have gotten Nord infantry, Vajir archery, archers, and Rhodok crossbowmen and spearmen, Swadian cavalry, and Sarranid cavalry. That's basically what I would have done if I could use all of the, all of the units. Also, probably would have gotten some Khergit horse archers, maybe for field battles initially. But as it stands, I did limit myself to only using Sarranid units, so that, that might be the reason why we're having a little bit more of a delay to creating our own faction. Of course, it helps that Sultan Hakim is being very generous indeed. And it's probably due to the fact that we only have one fief to our name, with the exception of Asunder Castle now, because obviously we have 2 fiefs now. But yeah, beforehand we only had one, which was Nara. And that's probably the reason why he's being quite kind about things. If I had, let's say, 3 or 4 fiefs, I think he would be much less inclined to give us fiefs. Additional fiefs, should I say. And Yeah, so that's probably the reason why. And yeah, so hopefully what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep Asugan Castle. I'm going to try and keep it as much as I can. I'm actually just going to allow my forces just to charge in. I mean, I have 45 cavalry, and they have 46 units total on the fields of battle. So I can assume that this is going to be pretty easy to do, you know, pretty easy to finish them up. So let's see if I can actually just, yeah, get a little bit of damage. Get a little bit of damage on that guy's horse, maybe slow him down a little bit, or, you know, at least get him a little bit lower in HP. Oh, this is a Vaegier. Oh, interesting. We have not fought a Vaegier defector just yet. This is nice. Oh, this is actually very nice. I'm actually really pleased to see some different units, to be honest, because we've just been fighting, what is it now, Khergits and Swadians and, you know, a couple of Rodoks, not really very many, but it's actually really nice to see couple of different unit types, to be honest. Because it does get a little bit repetitive when you're just fighting Khergits and Khergits and Khergits all the time. So it's really nice to have, you know, a bit of a variety here. And where are they all? It seems like they're all just scattered around. Yeah, they got absolutely murdered, didn't they? And they actually did have a couple of Vaegier Knights, as you can see. And that just shows that the Vaegier Knights themselves are not very good. It could just be that we completely outnumbered them, which is more than likely the case, but if you think about it, if those were Swadian Knights, if these 6 Vaegier Knights were Swadians instead, I think you'd probably see many more casualties on our side instead of just 2. So, there, you know, just take that into account. Anyway, we are going to let that guy go, get us some more honor. I can't take anyone else, so that's kind of a shame, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to swap out a couple of these guys. Get that and that. There we go. That should be fine. We'll just take a couple of things here as well. We have so much money due to our weekly wages right now. I think someone said, how much? How do I have so much money? Well, that's the reason. That is the reason. I have a lot of enterprises. If you haven't been watching the series so far, then I have a lot of enterprises, and I do own a town now as well. So obviously that is contributing to the money. And in the last couple of episodes, we did actually gain a pretty large sum of money from Nara itself, because it hadn't been, you know, taken control of for quite some time. So the wages had obviously stockpiled up quite a bit. And yeah, so there's that. If you do want to see the full experience, then I highly recommend watching from episode 1. I think it's a pretty cool experience, but maybe that's just me, I don't know. I just think, you know, then you know what's going on, you know? So yeah, anyway, we're going to get an additional point in charisma. And I think we're going to go for another point in leadership as a result of that as well, because leadership is a pretty decent way of getting additional space in your army. Obviously, it's only 5, but if you think about it, 7 times 5, that's a pretty decent amount of space there. So I'm not particularly adverse to speccing into some more leadership. It also does give us more morale and reduces our wages as well. So let's see what happens to Asugan Castle now. Pretty sure we're absolutely fine now, and they're not going to be attacking us any further. The Nords want to kill the Rodoks. Well, I don't blame them. I do not blame them one bit. Who's this? Devlian Noyan. You're going to be very annoying, aren't you? Yes. Seems like I'm going to have to fight these guys. Is he going to get... No, we're faster than him. We're faster than him. I'm actually kind of surprised that we are faster than him, because he has a very, very small army, but yep, no, there you go. Gonna take him down as well. He only has 12? Okay, so he only has 12 units. Just gonna tell everyone to charge in again. This is gonna be a very, very easy steamroll, but this is necessary. This is exactly what happens when you take a fief. A couple of people try to chance it, shall we say. They do try it on a bit. Yeah, they try and be a little bit cheeky and try and take things away from you when you're at least expecting it. But we are expecting it, of course, so we're absolutely fine to defend here. Take him down. Yes. Deal 0 damage, Barney. Good work. Yes, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to deal 0 damage. That was definitely annoying himself, by the way. I just thought I'd allow my units to fight him, because obviously, whoever gets the kill might actually get a good amount of experience. I actually am unaware now. It's been such a long time since we've had experience gain turned on. I'm actually unaware. You do get experience for taking out enemy vassals, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. And I think you get a lot more. As far as I'm aware, you get about 350 experience. I could be misremembering that. Well, never mind. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, we did lose one horseman, but that is to be expected. Not a big deal. And there we go. Alright, so we are going to need to move on very, very soon, because as you can see, the amount of food that I have is pretty low. So, well, we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Okay, hopefully no one else will turn up now. Most of the stragglers have been dealt with. I do realize there was actually a vassal with 119 or 112 or something like that. And yeah, this is exactly what I mean. This is how we have this much money. Really, look at this. 11,000. Really, 11,000, that's crazy. Nara is giving us so much. 3,700 plus 1,400, and the wages at Nara are only 1,000. That's really, really amazing. Very, very good. Alright, so Asugan Castle seems to be fine now, so I can basically just leave it alone. I don't really want to have a garrison here, to be honest, because if I leave these units here, I'm going to have to go all the way around and recruit units again, and that is just sinfully boring. You know, let's be frank here. Recruiting people, recruiting volunteers, that is just sinfully boring. And, you know, personally, I don't want to show that, and I don't want to do it off screen either. I personally find it very tedious, but oh well. Maybe I'm just going to do it, because these guys seem to just want to attack this all the time, so I guess I'm just going to go and do that off screen. It's very annoying. Okay, well, never mind. Let's just place all these guys in here. Swadian Knights. Wow, we've got some really... Wow, 35 Mamluks? I didn't even realize we had that many. Alright, well, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, well, there you go. There's a very, very good garrison right now. Hopefully these guys will not decide to attack now. No, it seems like they are not decide... Are they? Are they actually gonna do that? That is very crazy if they decide to attack this. I'm actually just going to wait here for some time. I'm going to cut away so you don't have to watch this, but let's just see whether an additional vassal turns up. It seems like an additional vassal did turn up, but it was in the form of a Saranid. So thank you very much for that, Saranid. You're actually helping me out quite a bit. I do need to be very, very careful about these Lancers, however. 6.9, I'm moving at 7.6, so I'm moving a lot faster than them. Thank goodness, because if I wasn't, we would be in a really, really bad spot. This guy's also running away. Is he running away from the... No, he's not running away from the deserters. Alright, well, we need to go and get some food, so I'm going to be doing that. Oh my, yeah, let's be a little bit careful here. That guy's come back? Has he seriously come back? Wow, that's crazy. Oh well, never mind. I'm going to go into Barry here. I am only going to show this. And if there's no ransom broker, then obviously I'm just going to run around and try and recruit a couple of people and avoid all these deserters. And as I said, it is very, very tedious as a result of that. Maybe I should buy a book. Shall we buy a book? Let's buy a book, shall we? So more wound treatment. More wound treatment might be good, but that doesn't really make any difference because we are not the surgeon. We are not the surgeon. So should I just buy a couple of books here? I'm actually unsure. This is... an essay on logic. That would be engineering, I think? No, maybe not. That's tactics, I'm pretty sure. That is tactics. Don't really need that. Maybe I need to check that on the wiki or something like that, because I can't remember them off by heart. Why am I selling to this guy? Not entirely sure. But there isn't a ransom broker here, so it's not really a big deal. Alright, so I'm just going to sell all of these things. Let's just see how much I'm going to make from this. Hopefully it's going to be something nice. Yeah, look at that. 1,500. Very nice. Wow, not much food here either. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Oh well, never mind. Well, that actually seems to be a bit of a solution to our problem, I guess. Yes. Okay, so basically what I did was I ran around Saranid territory and I went to Nara as well, and Nara just happened to become under siege. Now, obviously, that is a pretty big deal, considering Sanjar Khan was there. He had 250 units. I think we probably would have been... probably in a pretty bad way, actually. If I could actually speak properly. Yeah, that'd be good. Anyway, the point is, they had, I think, about 500 units there, and then they just left. I'm not entirely sure why, but they just left. And I was there with my pretty good units, you know, I was in the garrison there just waiting, and now I've returned to Asugan Castle because there was Kramuk Noyan here, and he was attempting to besiege this. So, as you can see, I'm actually just waiting here because it was under siege. But now we have made peace with the Khergits. So, wow. Seems like the Saronids have done a very, very good job of monopolizing their territory, though, as you can see. So, pretty happy with that. Nara seems to be safe again, and now I'm unsure where I have to go. I mean, basically, there's not much I can do with the exception of leveling up a lot of recruits. And I do have a number of footmen here. As you can see, I did take my elite units out of Asugan Castle when I left. But yeah, most of these villages in this area, by the way, did not give me recruits. So I had to go all the way over here, and that was very annoying. But yeah, it's okay. It's absolutely fine. So there aren't any other factions to actually attack at the moment. So it seems like I'll have to do a little bit of off-screen grinding, on the steppe bandits or something in this area, or maybe the desert bandits in this area. As you saw, there were a huge amount of deserter parties and desert bandits when we were running around with a very small army. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the recruits and the footmen and things like that, and I'm going to act like the game has just started, and I'm just going to run around and fight bandits and see if I can level those up a little bit quicker than trainer skill does. Obviously, running around is also going to contribute to that. And we do have a pretty decent trainer skill. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. And I guess we're just going to, well, just try and see whether we can, get a third army, a third good army up, because we have 35 Mamluks. I'm actually really surprised about that, but I suppose fighting vassals all the time does have its benefits. Anyway, a little bit of a shorter episode today, but as you see, there's not much I can do apart from grind bandits. I mean, really. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.